You ever have one of those days where life feels like it's being edited in real time? Shedeur Sanders lived one of them. He took his first regular season snaps under the stadium lights, felt the pressure of pro defenses, and by the time the final whistle blew, he also had to face the awful news that someone had rifled through his home and walked out with roughly $200,000 worth of stuff. The collision of a rookie's brutal afternoon and a personal violation made the moment feel less like sports drama and more like a life test. Reuters. When reporters asked him about it a few days later, he answered in a way that was equal parts defiance and relief. "I'm in a mental space now to where it's not too much that could faze me," he said, then cracked a grin and added the line that will stick. "By the way, none of my jewelry got took." That little laugh, the jewelry bit, is more than bravado. It's a coping mechanism. He's young, public, and already learning how to draw a perimeter between what headlines can take and what stays inside one's skin. People.com. On the field, the rookie afternoon was exactly the kind of rough schooling you expect when a player is asked to perform before the practice reps are in the bank. He went 4 for 16 for 47 yards with an interception and 2 sacks. The box score looks unforgiving, and the tape will be blunt. But the film also shows near misses, a broken up end zone throw, a few flashes of accuracy that suggests this was less no talent and more underprepared, rushed into the deep end. That's a fixable problem. What isn't instantly fixable is the sleep you'll lose after someone has been inside your house. ESPN.com law enforcement's version reads like a procedural beat you see too often now. Surveillance captured 3 masked, gloved suspects entering his home at about 6:46 p.m. and leaving roughly 12 minutes later carrying bags. Deputies estimate around $200,000 in property taken. No arrests have been announced. The chilling detail is the speed, 12 minutes, and the clinical way criminals can operate while someone is thousands of eyes and cameras away on a field. It's not just theft, it's a new kind of vulnerability professional athletes have to plan around. Reuters. There are 2 levels of recovery Sanders faces this week. One is procedural, police investigations, insurance claims, and whatever else legal channels are messy, slow, administrative tasks that will bleed time and attention. The other is the human work, sleep, security, the ritual of making your home like your castle again. He asked family to pull up rather than text. That request tells you everything. Presence matters more than perfunctory check-ins when somebody's life has been violated in your absence. TMZ on the team side, the Browns face the practical reality of the week ahead. Dillon Gabriel remains in concussion protocol, and if he's not cleared, Sanders will get the full week of first-team reps he didn't have before Sunday's emergency. That's huge. There's a world of difference between being an unpracticed emergency fill-in and being the quarterback for 7 days of game planning. Quick throws, scripted protection, timing work with receivers. The coaching staff can manufacture a game plan to protect a rookie. They can't manufacture the peace of mind he needs to sleep. Reuters, let's be clear about what to expect if Sanders gets that prep week. Cleaner reads, quicker release, fewer plays that rely on improvisation. Coaches will trim the playbook to concepts he knows, and receivers will rehearse the tiny route depth cues that make or break completions. That's how you turn flashes into repeats. And if he doesn't get those reps because Gabriel returns, then Sunday's tape becomes useful homework rather than an audition with a gut punch attached. Either way, the next game will tell us much more than the debut did. Yahoo Tetao. Here's the human center of the story and why this matters beyond box scores. A 23-year-old is trying to build a career while the world watches his worst moments. His father, Deion Sanders, publicly praised his son's ability to take the heat and keep going, which matters, not because celebrities love their kids, but because veteran presence and family can be the scaffolding a young player needs when reality gets loud. That scaffolding doesn't stop a burglary or fix a stat line, but it keeps the person standing long enough to do the work. People.com. If you walk away from this week with one image, let it be simple. A rookie quarterback stepping back into the huddle with boxing gloves on one hand, the hits he's learning to take, and a set of keys in the other hand that he now sees differently. The sport will teach him about defenses and progressions, Life just taught him about precautions and priorities, how he, his team, and his family respond over the next 72 hours. More presence, better security, focused practice reps will determine whether this becomes a defining setback or a hard lesson that helped him grow. For now, Shedeur's line, "It's just caught slippin'," is not arrogance. It's a shorthand for how young pros learn fast. You accept the mess, prioritize the irreplaceable, and keep showing up. The scoreboard will sort the football part. The rest will take time, police reports, and the slow work of rebuilding the little normal things that let a player be present for his craft. Keep an eye on practice reports and the police release. Those two small documents will tell the twin stories that matter here, whether the Browns treat him as an emergency fill or a starter for a week, and whether investigators find the people who turned a rookie's debut into a multi-scene ordeal. Reuters.